What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the Immortal podcast. Nemo and I, we've been gone for a couple of weeks, probably for some good reason, and we're back though today for popular demand. People were asking for it. Plus, of course, we have some stuff to talk about regarding Diablo Immortal and other games we've been playing. In the meantime, Nemo, what's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, Echo. Thanks, of course, for firing up the good old engine and having the Immortal podcast. I miss hanging out with everyone. We got a lot to talk about, so let's get to it.
We do have some things to talk about. I want to remind everyone that's watching that this show is fueled by the chat. So any questions that you guys have, feel free to drop them in the chat over here on Twitch or on YouTube, and we're going to be able to get to them there. Nemo, keep an eye on Twitch, because I'm keeping a good eye over here on YouTube to see what the community has to say. So let's update everyone right off the bat. For anyone that may be new around here or doesn't know what the actual status of the game is right now, and well, that is that we have another delay. This is not new news, but it is news that some people may not have seen before or have heard before if you're new around here. We're delayed for a while, and honestly, it's frustrating. It kind of hurts for people that are trying to make content for the game, but we're looking at probably about another 10 months right now, taking us into next summer before we could actually play the game. Now, I put out a video directly after this news was made, and then I digested it for about 24 hours and put out another video on my thoughts. But I want to hear, Nemo, how do you feel about this? Like, me personally, I'll start out to lighten your load a little bit. I feel like Blizzard needs to make their game, right? They need to make it and put the amount of time into it that they need to be effective, to put out the game that they want. But this is getting to be pretty long, even for someone like myself. And you mentioned it, and I'm going to say it as well. I'm noticing the shift. You and I, over the past year, and me over the past 2 years, have been building up a community to really be positive about the game. And we've seen it. It was negative in the beginning. Positivity started to gain. And then, well, it's now what I'm noticing is we're getting more negativity again because people are just tired of waiting, because it's going to be like a 4-year development plan. How do you feel about this so far? How do you think everything is going? What was your initial reaction when you heard about another delay?
I walked into a dark room. I turned all the lights off. I banged my head against the wall and I cried. To be honest with you, it was actually not that far off. So was a bit disappointed, obviously, because it came off as a shock. You know, we weren't really prepared for this. Normally, at least if there's like a little bit of a headway, you know, they said it was gonna come out this year, and I mean, I believe them, right? Like the rest of the investors, and I mean, I understand where they're coming from. I also put out a video, kind of lightly discussing this. I understand that the fact is that they love Diablo Immortal, and the fact is that it takes a lot of effort to be able to change specific things that we asked them to change as beta testers, right? Or alpha testers. We went in there, we got the game, and we were very vocal about specific things that we wanted to change. And in order to change those things, I actually mentioned this in the video. I sort of like described Diablo Immortal as a jar of marbles. And if you're gonna pull one out, you got to pull out a lot of them to be able to change things. So I understand what they're saying, and I get the fact that it's gonna take time and it's gonna make the game better and all of that good stuff. But at the same time, it's just been too far, too long, and I understand the frustration of all the rest of the people. Just like you, I've just covered this game, right? That's all I played, Diablo Immortal. This is what my channel covers, and it's been really positive once the alphas came out, because a lot of people at first doubted Immortal, right? They were saying all that stuff. Do you have phones? Blah blah blah. And once alpha came out, once we're able to show them how beautiful this game is, a lot of people just kind of stopped their negativity, got on board because they saw that the game is amazing. So now that the game is sort of like not derailed, but again, it is not really on course, right? We realize that it's going to be delayed. It brings back a lot of negativity. A lot of people are frustrated and upset, and I actually understand why. So how do I feel about it? I'm like halfway in the middle. I don't know how to feel about it. I understand that the Immortal needs to fix these things in order to make the game better, but I also am kind of frustrated. I'm like, I'm ready to play the game, so I don't know how to feel about it. I'll be honest. I really don't know. I'm in the middle.
Yeah, you know what's funny? I'm kind of in the same place. And we have Pretzel asking a question in the chat right now. Obviously, Pretzel doesn't have a ton of experience with Immortal, and he says, when you guys played Diablo Immortal, did you feel it was like a cheap mobile game or a high-budget game? And that's part of the issue. Diablo Immortal is an incredible game. It's definitely a high-budget AAA game just on mobile. This is what I've been saying forever. And that's part of why the frustration is here, because it's already better as it is now than anything out there by far. And I've been playing more games. There's one that I'm going to talk about here today that reminds me of something that Diablo Immortal should do, but it is so good. And because it's so good and because there's so much delay, it makes you wonder, like, why hold off so long? I mean, yes, the community is getting mad. Yes, us as content creators, maybe we get a little bit frustrated because we just don't want to wait, but that's selfish of us at the same time, right? We can't, the game is not just about us and our YouTube channels or the community and their inability to wait. It really is about putting out the best game. And this is what I keep telling myself, that Blizzard has to do what's right for Diablo Immortal, not what's right for the community, not what's right for content creators like myself. They need to do what's right for the game. With that being said, Nemo, I wouldn't mind them being a little bit more vocal, either with the community in terms of like updating us, or even just content creators so that we can update the community. I wouldn't mind knowing a little bit more, because as it sits now, we're in the dark. We know about 10 months from now, we're supposed to see it release. Supposed to. But it's been continuously being put off, so to be honest with you, I can't put too much weight in that basket right now, and I don't even want to make the prediction anymore of when is the game going to release. So really what I'm focused on is getting my love back for it, my passion back for all of this, and to do that we need to have another alpha, or it's going to be into beta at that point in time. I think it was confirmed by Adam that beta is the next phase, that we're not going to be seeing another alpha. So really, that's what I have my fingers crossed for. And over on Twitter earlier today, I saw some people saying things about October. They heard rumors, which they clearly were just rumors, but I think that would be a good guess for a beta to come. What do you think, Nemo?
Yeah, I agree with you in the sense we're 100% in the dark. Echo, myself, and a few other content creators have been putting out content, but really it's just been like Echo has been putting out content for like 2 or 3 years now without the game Echo. How long has it been? Like 2 years?
Yeah.
Oh my lord! How many videos did you? The other day you said it was like 400.
No, I'm over 300. Something around like 320 videos. I was actually doing the math of like how much money I've invested in my channel so far through editing, through artwork, and all of that stuff, and it's more than I'd like to say. And I really needed to start catching up a little bit. So I'm ready for the game to come out. It's the truth.
Yeah, dude. If you were to look up like squeezing water out of a stone in a dictionary, your face should be there because Matt props.
Can I say something about that?
Yeah,
because recently I put out a video to my OG followers, as I call you guys. I was putting out daily videos, and some of those videos were me just kind of ranting or me just kind of going on. And then I put out the video saying that I'm not going to do them daily anymore. And the reason for that was not because I am going to stop Diablo Immortal, not because I'm upset about Diablo Immortal, just because you were talking about squeezing water out of a stone. I didn't want to do that anymore for 11 more months. I just felt like it was diluting my content. And I really want, when an Echo Gaming Diablo video comes out, I want all of my subscribers to say, oh, what does he have to say? Not, oh, he's going to just blab on about Diablo Immortal again. So I really want to make sure that my content is something that people look forward to, so when it drops, they go check it out. So I'm slowing it down. I'm going to at least be putting out 1 or 2 videos a week, and more when the beta comes, when I can start doing Let's Plays and actually getting into the game. I would love to do more. But right now, with no content, with nothing really discussed, because I have literally covered everything about the game, there's no reason to jump into it anymore like that. So sorry I just took you off on that tangent, Nemo.
No, it's actually exactly what pretty much I kind of have to say as well. That's what we do, right? We make content for Immortal. If there's nothing to make, I'm in the same boat. I only try to make relevant content, so I don't want to just dilute it and make videos that are about nothing, because literally there's nothing to talk about. So that's why I've scaled back on the videos. It's not because I don't want to make them. And of course, once alpha or beta or whatever the next test that comes out, once we get our hands on something, I'll start making videos again. I'm not going away, neither is Echo. Some people are asking about that. They were like, well, did you stop making content? Like, you made a video about the 10 questions with Echo. Is that what you're doing now? You're just making a game show? No, I enjoy the videos. It's a lot of fun. I love making stuff, So while I don't have the game, I'm going to be making videos once in a while that are super fun. At the same time, as soon as there's any news about Immortal, I'll be making videos on those. And that's what brings me back to what you said, Echo. We are completely in the dark. Normally we had a little bit of a roadway, but this news that came to us, it completely took me off tracks. Like, I did not expect that. Neither did anybody else. Trust me, we know nothing about this. We were just, I felt a little bit derailed because, like I said, I have a
Yeah.
plan. So there's Echo. We pump content out. We do this stuff. This is our life. Like we're not joking around. We're gonna be here if Immortal is here, and a little bit of a headway would have been nice. But now that we don't have it, we're just kind of in the dark, and we have to wait with everybody else. So as soon as there's some news, we're definitely gonna be coming out with videos. And in the meantime, we're gonna come out with a whole bunch of fun stuff, like the 10 questions that I had with Echo. Dude, that was such a blast. I really enjoyed that video. A lot of people are enjoying it as well. Like, they get to know a little bit more of Echo. It was really a lot of fun.
Yeah, that video was a lot of fun. I'm glad we did it. By the way, Greg2G's in the chat, another creator for Diablo Immortal and other action RPGs. He was part of that alpha series with us. What's up, man? Thanks for coming through the stream. And yeah, I want right now in the chat on Twitch and YouTube, let us know, yes or no, if you saw the questions with Echo video on Nemo's channel. His channel is Scrappy Academy. I'm actually not sure if I linked it in the description of this video. If I didn't, I'm sorry, but just search up Scrappy Academy and you can watch that video. It's a lot of fun. He asked me 10 random questions that have nothing to do with Diablo Immortal, and I enjoyed it. So let us know if you got to check that one out, and if you didn't, I highly suggest you do, just because it's a lot of fun. Now, we had a question come in from Andrew Rogers that I'd like to lightly touch on. Well, with all the problems at Blizzard, what do you think the real issue is? Loss of development team, internal focus shift, and you know, that's real talk, right? Everyone knows that Blizzard is having issues right now. There's a lot of internal conflict going on, and they're dealing with a lot as a company. And that really sucks. It sucks for employees at Blizzard that have passion for it, that are great people, that have to deal with the stuff that was going on around them that maybe they had nothing to do with. It sucks for the people that the bad things happen to. It sucks for people that are waiting for games. And it really is, you know, a small pod of people that made bad decisions that's affecting a ton of people. Now, real talk, do I think that this may have played in some way to the delay of Diablo Immortal? It very well may have. I mean, they have so much on their plate dealing with all of that as far as like upper management, replacing people, new talent coming in. It may have slowed things down for them. They may have decided to, let's not launch a game right now because we're dealing with all this other stuff. Do I know that for a fact? No. But if I were a company dealing with a lot, I may slow things down for that reason. Also, with being said, like what we heard was that they have a lot of changes that they needed to make. I think that myself, Nemo, and a lot of people that tested the game, we had issues with how, you know, the Immortals and the Shadows played, and how you were just missing stuff if you were a Shadow not able to engage in the Immortal stuff, or just how the whole mechanic went down. We weren't in love with all of it, to be honest. It was not one of my favorite parts of the game. And obviously, Blizzard takes these alpha stages to see what everyone likes, what needs to be fixed, and they come back. So maybe they realized, we need to fix a lot of this stuff, and it's going to take some time to do it. So in that regard, I could respect them taking the time, because I do want them to put out a game. But I was talking to my son Carter yesterday. I drove him up to my father's house. He's spending a few days there, and on the ride, we were talking about Diablo Immortal. And he said, like, when are we going to play? I said, I don't know. It's delayed for a while. He says, why? It was so good the first time I played it. And he's talking about the initial alpha, which was a year ago almost. Not quite a year ago, 10 months ago at this point in time. So even coming from an 8-year-old, you know, and obviously an 8-year-old won't break down the game the way that everyone else does, but the game was great even before the Shadows and Immortals came. Shadows and Immortals came, they definitely put a lot of depth into the game, but they also threw a wrench in the mix and kind of made there a lot more stuff for Blizzard to have to fix along the way. So I think, in all honesty, that is what most of this time delay is all about. Fixing the Shadows and Immortals, making it so that it's not something that burns people out, but that keeps people coming back to want to play more. And we're going to get into PvP in a few minutes, Nemo. Just, I know you want to hear it. Just don't worry. So what do you have for me, Nemo? Any questions coming over from Twitch? I mean, I have a bunch more I want to go through right here on YouTube. Much love to everyone that comes through. Let me be honest here. Nemo, it's very hard to cover a game that's not yet out, especially to do it on a regular basis. So what keeps Nemo and I going all the time is the community, which we have built up an amazing one. There's a lot of things going on. Nemo, you want to tell everyone what goes on in your server that's being run over there by Red October? Because there's some great Diablo Immortal focus stuff going on in your server as well.
Yeah, for sure. There's actually a lot of the folks that kind of get together, and they have something called the campfire, the Diablo Immortal campfire, where they get together every week, and anybody can join. and jump in and just talk about all things Diablo Immortal, what's going on, even Diablo 2, and all that stuff. A lot of content creators jump in as well. Me and Echo when we have time. Echo Hack, a few others. I know that Dread's in there, some others. So you're definitely welcome to come join. They have a blast, and every time I can make it, I definitely do. We talk all things Immortal. It's super fun. You should come join. For
Yeah,
sure.
so it's like a chill session podcast kind of thing like this where you can get yourself a little bit more involved than just in the chat like we do right here. So great times, especially if you're getting that need, that desire for Diablo Immortal, just to chat about it, see what's going on. It's just another option for stuff because there's not really a lot of stuff. There's not really any content creators putting out anything for Diablo Immortal unless if we do a latest news or release date leaks or something like that. So that's not a bad spot to check out. That's going to be in Nemo's server. Nemo, what have you been playing?
Well, a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. Well, I played a little bit of Resurrected. Unfortunately, like every time they put out an alpha or whatever for Resurrected, I have a vacation planned. And it's always on the weekend, you know. It becomes available Friday and it goes away Sunday or Monday, I believe it was this time. And every time I have a trip. So this time, of course, I was in Boston and I was eating a whole bunch of lobster and missed the entire D2 Resurrected.
This in
PlayStation, which
right
I'm pretty
now,
upset about.
Nemo taking that YouTube money, traveling the world, eating lobster, living the high life, and he's sitting here complaining about Diablo. Who is this guy? Living that high life with tons of complaints. No, all serious though, it's true. They come so quick. I missed this last one too because I wasn't there. So I didn't, I mean, with that being said, I like playing things on mobile and it's not an option for that. So my time to get in front of my PC and do that kind of stuff is already limited. So if I'm not going to be getting into it the way many others are. I'm more the guy that's going to be diving into Diablo Immortal when it comes back out because it's on mobile devices and other mobile games that I've been playing along the way as well. So what have you been doing? We went off tangent again.
Sorry, yeah, we did. Well, so I jumped in back into Halo. I've been playing that on my Xbox, playing a little bit of Microsoft Flight Simulator, and been messed around because, and honestly, isn't really much. Like I played a little bit of Outriders, which was like all right. There's nothing that's gonna fill the void for me for Immortal. I tried to play some mobile games, and good lord, the only game that I'm looking forward to that I heard from your channel actually was the Undecember game. That looks really awesome.
Yeah.
That game I'm looking forward to. But right now, I'm not really playing anything besides Diablo once in a while and Halo.
Yeah, let's talk about Undecember for a second. Because that's another game that's freaking not out yet, and that's another waiting game. So again, we can't play it yet. Now, Undecember, it does look amazing. Pros about this, and I did put a video out breaking down pros and cons. Pros are it's on PC and on mobile, cross-platform. You could take it on the go. It's all binded together, which is great. For people that like that, I could care less. I'm going to play it on mobile all the way, but it's a great feature, and that's what's going to be happening with so many games in the future. They're going to be on multiple platforms, and it's just going to be how they roll, which is sweet. The bad thing about it is, well, I don't understand really the classless system. I felt like it was a way that you could build out your class to work as you wish, but then I had some comments coming through saying that it's similar to Path of Exile, which I never played much of Path of Exile. I was never a big Path of Exile guy, so I'm a little lost on how the classless system is going to work inside of the game. But they're saying it's releasing this year, and no, that's not why it's called Undecember. That's just the title of the game. Can we anticipate a December release? I'm skeptical. You know why? Oh, look at me. Let's go to a full screen. Obviously, we're looking at a recording of when I was streaming. That's back from the closed alpha, and I haven't aged much in the year that since that's been out. But Undecember, I'm skeptical if it's actually going to be coming out in December. I'm in the Discord server. There's probably only 300 of us in the Discord server. There's nothing but a trailer or two out for the game. Alpha supposedly is coming, but it's not here yet. Now remember, we are coming into September, which leaves them 3 months if they want to release the game. I hope so. The game has a lot of promise. It's a good looking game. It's going to be massive on mobile, and it was handed on a silver platter, Nemo, an opportunity because, well, Diablo Immortal is not going to fill that void, and a lot of people that are waiting, a lot of people are frustrated, and they kind of just threw away Diablo Immortal and the idea of it. I mean, they'll be back. When Diablo Immortal comes out, they will be back. I know that. But they're going to have to fill that time with something. So what are they going to fill it with? Could it be Undecember? I think the game shows potential. I think it could be something good just from watching the trailers. Again, hands-on impressions are the most important thing. If you don't get your hands on it and know how it feels, you don't really know how good the game is, because Diablo Immortal, it looks great, but it feels even better than it looks. It just works. Everything just works and is natural. That's one of the best things about the game, Nemo, and we don't know that yet about Undecember, so we have high hopes, but it's still a long shot because we haven't played it.
Yeah, it looks really awesome. I love the whole idea of being able to play on the phone and then being able to continue on the PC and then back on the phone. That really is like, I know there was a few other games like Genshin and some others that were like that. Back in the day, I believe, which Sega was it? We had the Genesis, and then there was another Sega that came out, and they had this little thing that came out with the controller that you could take with you and go play when you were like not home. That's an awesome idea. I don't know why more people don't do that. I really got excited about that one. Plus, I can't wait to see what it actually looks like on mobile. I did see the trailer looks insane. Some of those classes and the way it all looks. I'm pretty sure that's on the PC though. So that I mean,
100%.
I can't wait to see what it looks like. Right? That's definitely PC render. So we'll see what it looks like on the mobile. But and somebody in the chat, by the way, mentioned Undecember is the month after December, the 13th month. They're saying. Red was saying that in the chat. So. But does that mean that it will be coming out in 2022?
Oh god.
I don't watch the game though. I'm looking forward to it.
I can't take it anymore, Nemo. I can't dive headfirst into a game that's not out yet and deal with what we've been dealing with Diablo Immortal. Now, like I said, I'm not stopping Diablo Immortal, and that's all it's just like slowing down a little bit until it comes. But I'm not about to jump into another game alongside Diablo Immortal that I'm waiting for, because it's just gonna blow my mind. So with that being said, Marvel Force Revolution, I forget what it was called. Marvel Revolution just came out this week. I woke up at 3:20 a.m. to get the game completely downloaded and to stream it at 4 o'clock a.m. I streamed for about 3 hours. The game is pretty good. Just put out a video on the Diablo channel comparing that to Diablo Immortal. Okay, very different than Diablo Immortal. We're talking about a Marvel world, of course, and not only that is different, though. It's a Netmarble game. It's very grindy. It's got pay-to-win elements, and it takes tons of time to get anywhere. You could do like this, what was it, like 4,000 or 400,000, I don't remember, some stupid number of character costumes you could concoct for each of the characters. There's 8 classes to start, and you could hold up to 8 classes, so you could start one and you could have 7 others that could be your alts, which is really cool. And honestly, the game is really good. The problem with it is time. For me, do I have time to invest into this game, to be able to make content for this game, and still hold down a Brawl Stars channel, a Clash of Clans channel, a NFT crypto channel? What? That's coming. It's coming soon.
Oh.
Artwork being created.
Whoa.
Yeah. Little leak there. I switched from the reaction stuff. Reaction stuff sucks. In all honesty, I
was really looking forward to the Echo reaction.
I tried the reaction, and I watched it back, and it's just so cringe. I just can't put myself out there like that. Like, I like watching reaction stuff. I can't be reaction stuff. I just can't. It's just too out of my comfort zone. So I decided not to. And because I live and work in the investment world, we're doing something with that, which is going to be kind of fun. A little different twist on it. But that's basically the reaction channel rebranded. That's linked down below if you guys want to check it out and be on board with that. Nemo, you should watch, man, because we've had these discussions. But let's get back to the questions in the chat. So, you know what? There's one more game. Let's bring it back to the multiplayer. Let's be honest, Nemo, I don't think any of the multiplayer modes that I want or have mentioned over the last year are going to be coming to Diablo Immortal. I think it's going to be all focused amongst Shadows and Immortals and the Battlegrounds. I don't think we're going to see Team Deathmatch or we're going to see in Battle Royale. But I did just find a game called Fog Battle Royale. You guys can download it on your phones and try it out. It is not as polished as Diablo Immortal or even close. It is only a Battle Royale mode, but it is exactly what I'm talking about for Diablo Immortal. You drop into a world. You have basic gear. You slay AI to get better gear, and you battle 30 other people as the poison closes in on you. Can Diablo Immortal take what they have in the game, make this quickly, and it be 10 times better than how this Fog Battle Royale game does it? 100%. Would I play that 90% of the time? 100%. I'm already addicted to this this game was probably made in 6 months. Fog Battle Royale, and yeah, I should probably find some footage to put up on the screen of it so everyone can take a look at it. But it's a great representation of a beta version of what I think Blizzard should be doing for Diablo Immortal. And am I a little frustrated that I don't even think being considered? Maybe it is being considered. I don't know. I mean, yeah, I would love to see it in the game. Although I know and I understand it does stray very far from the roots of Diablo. But so does everything about Diablo Immortal, Nemo. This is all straying from what Blizzard and Diablo have ever been before. So why not stray a little bit further?
That's a good point. There's a question coming into the chat actually for both of us.
Okay.
That interesting. A little bit switch our subject, but are you going to play D2 Resurrected while Immortal is not out? Is that going to hold you over? So a lot of people are asking, are we going to make videos on that game when it comes out?
No, I'm probably not. Maybe one or two. I respect it for the game that it is. I do think it's a great game, but it really comes down to me and the platform itself. My time investment on PC, although I have like a 6 setup here, I don't really game on it. It's all about work, content creation, and that. I game on my mobile devices in the time that I get, and without being able to do that, in all fairness, I'm probably not going to be putting much time into it. But I get the feeling that you are on the other side of that. I get the feeling you will play a little bit.
Yes, 100%. I will play D2 Resurrected because it looks awesome. I'm pretty pissed off that I haven't been able to play it for the last 2 times. Like, every time I'm going on vacation next week. Please do not. D2 is not coming out next week, right? No, I still got. Is it coming out next week?
I think you have time. I think this is a good stretch right now.
I'm going on vacation for a week. Hold on, Blizzard. So, I'm pretty excited about the fact it's actually coming on Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5 and all that as well. I never played Diablo on a console. So, and some people, I've been listening to a lot of people chatting about that. And a lot of people say that it's actually a really good experience on a controller, which I love controllers. I have an Xbox Series X. I have like the Elite controller. So I'm pretty pumped to try it on both the Xbox and the PC, but I'm probably going to end up playing it on my Xbox Series X, to be honest with you. Pretty pumped. Of course, I mean, I'm going to play it until Immortal comes out, and then I'll probably play it once in a while. But once Immortal comes out, we'll go all day long with Immortal. So, yes, I will be playing D2R while we wait.
All right, now another question is, when Immortal comes out again in the beta form, let's assume maybe in October, November, what class are you going to play? Are you going to stick with your wizard, or are you going to try out that necro, man? Or are you going to try necro and then go back to your wizard? Like, are you getting bored of the wizard? Because I know me, I played Crusader for quite a bit, Paragon my Crusader, and I got a little bored of it, so I wanted to switch. And it's nice that you can do that inside of the game. You have the ability to switch back and forth between classes. I love that, and I did. I went back to my barb, which was where my heart is, and I enjoyed that until the alpha ended.
Because now I'm a true wizard, feel like I have to represent the wizard. So I'll always play as a wizard. To be honest with you, I love playing the wizard. And the fact is that we're going to get all the way to the end, so that means that we're going to get more stuff, right? We might get the last skill and the final. Like, I'm definitely playing the wizard. It is going to be tough, though, because normally, like with the Crusader, I like the Crusader. I played D3, played with the Crusader for a while. It's a cool class, but it wasn't really me. I'm more of like, I started off my Diablo journey just in general as a barbarian. So I always loved barbarians, and I always play as a barbarian. But the wizard just took my heart, like, and specifically in Immortal. I've played the wizard in D2, actually. I played way back in the day. I played the wizard, obviously in D3, and it just clicked for me when it comes to Immortal. But the problem is Necromancer, because Necromancer is a really interesting class. I love the Necro, both, in D3, I don't know, my favorite class is probably a Witch Doctor, which is close enough to a Necro, right? But Necro is going to be very different, I feel like. He's going to have a very different system, and I'm really excited for that. So it's really tough. I'm probably going to play both. I'm definitely playing the wizard and cranking her all the way up. but I'm also gonna try the Necro. I'm gonna focus on the Wizard for sure because I'm gonna push with her as far as I can, just like I did here, to try to go to the highest levels, get the coolest. I need to know what are the best gear sets. I want to look at all of the classes, all of the skills, kind of figure out how they all work, so I can come up with my own build. This was my issue with the alpha and both of the alphas. Really, I couldn't really figure out what I'm trying to go for because I don't know some of the skills, I don't know some of the gear, some of the stuff's missing. Like, I want to be able to put like a cool build together for the wizard, at least one or two. And so that means I'm going to be pushing with the wizard. But then deck roll is going to be an awesome class. I cannot wait for it. So I'm definitely going to be playing that as well. If anybody's still awake, I'm playing both.
I know. Yeah, you're playing both. I hear that. And I understand you saying that you want to like be part of all of the new stuff coming to the Wizard as well. Like you don't want to miss out on any of that. Now, I pulled up some footage here of the Fog Battle Royale game. Now this, I want to remind you, let me see if I can pull it up here and if it's going to look actually okay. I got to play around here for a moment. But this is an example of, man, I want to make sure I don't mess this up before I pop it on the screen here. Okay, I think this can work. So there we go. Fog Battle Royale. This is what it looks like. Clearly nothing like Diablo Immortal, right here, Nemo. This is definitely not on par with Diablo Immortal, but check it out. You have your map. It's closing in on you, attacking AI right now, gaining gear and power-ups as you go. Everyone drops into the world at the same level. Notice there's an axe right there. That's a lower level, and a cape, lower level than what they already had picked up. Just continuously slaying the AI. But there are chests that can be found around the way, and there are also other players. As you can see, I think there are 10 more players left, as you can see right underneath the map. And the map is going to close in a little bit more in 18 seconds. Typical Battle Royale style thing that we're all used to, which a lot of people won't like for Diablo Immortal. But, you know, it's about that foraging and finding stuff and finding a way to add PvP to the game that is balanced and that's not going to give people an advantage for having grinded forever and gotten so much gear. Now, Blizzard did mention some of the changes that they're going to have incoming about how they're going to make it easier for people that play less to keep up with people that play for extended periods of time. But still, I feel like it fixes a lot, but it doesn't fix how multiplayer will play out at the end of the day, at least not anything crazy. So I'm just waiting right here to see as an actual interaction with another player. I mean, there's only 4 left right now, and it seems like Grumpy Hedgehog has run into a really nice room with a bunch of chests. But remember, you only can grab things. Okay, here comes the fog, so he's got to move himself in. This is what's gonna force the battle, so you can't just hide forever. Moving you into another zone. I mean, we all know Battle Royale, right, Nemo?
Oh yeah, for sure. This is like also, it feels like a combo of like Battle Royale, Diablo, and then remember that game Catalyst Black?
Yep.
Kind of reminds me of that a little bit too.
Yeah, Catalyst Black was an objective-based top-down game. It looks a lot like Catalyst Black, but Catalyst Black wasn't Battle Royale. It was team-based battles with objectives. So that was cool too. Now here's going to be, this is an actual other person, Bald Badger, or whatever it was. I didn't see that. So he slayed him, is able to take all of his gear easy. Here we have another Colossal Llama, but it looks like Grumpy Hedgehog just took him down, and I think that is the last. Coming in at number 1, you kind of get the idea of what that whole thing looks like. Now, of course, this is not anything near the quality of what Diablo Immortal has or what we want to see or would expect to see out of Diablo Immortal for Battle Royale, but that was a pretty simple representation of what I feel would be a cool element inside of the game, and it wouldn't be that hard to implement. I mean, all the character models are there. All the combat is there. All of the stages are there. Literally, all it would take would be some type of a closing mechanic on these levels, and you know, just some coding, man. That's all this is. It's just coding.
Yeah, I agree. And then there's so much you can do here as well. There's a lot of potential. It's really nice. I like this. Catalyst Black, that brought me back to another game that was super fun.
Yeah,
that was different, right? It wasn't like Battle Royale, but the big team-based PvP. That was super fun too. Good, like a nice idea, I thought.
yeah, and it's still out, and they're still doing updates and continuously updating the alpha that everyone gets to play. Unfortunately, it's not out yet. Catalyst Black, it was like teams of 10 or 15. You had crazy weapons, and remember, you could shapeshift into like gods, and they were basically like big monsters, and you could transform yourself
It,
into a monster once you build that up. Definitely a cool idea. I think it will be a successful game. Not along the lines of PvP that I was thinking for Diablo Immortal, but definitely another option, another game that's really a lot of fun. We used to both cover it actually for a little bit there.
yeah, that was actually teams of 100, if you remember. And
Oh,
the interesting,
really?
yeah, it was just huge. Oh yeah, yeah, it was a huge. There was over 100 players on the battlefield at each time. And the interesting part is you could like the battles lasted for a long time, for like half hour even. So you can just jump in and out anytime. So people just kept
Right.
jumping in and out from one team to another, and it's a blast. It was a lot of fun. I really liked that whole idea. It was cool.
Yep, I did too. But it's not Diablo Immortal. It's something you could play in the meantime, I guess. But
Yeah, I've been developing it for a while.
yeah, it's another one that, everyone says mobile games, you should have it right away, but then at the same time these people complain that mobile games all suck and they're cash grabs and they just make them quick. If you want a good mobile game that's going to be like something you would experience on PC or console, it takes the same amount of time to create it. It doesn't matter that the platform is a phone or is a tablet. It still takes as long to create that game. Now, Nemo, let's get to the question that I've been getting, or the comment that I've been getting in my YouTube videos, saying that Blizzard is no more. That Blizzard is collapsing and not even going to be a company anymore, and that I should stop covering Diablo Immortal because the whole company is dead. Not even just the game. Is there anything you want to say about that?
Uh,
So,
I
put you on the spot.
I mean,
I could take
but
it.
no. It's just funny. Like, what can I say about that? Well, so it's not true. In many different ways, I can alphabetically tell you how that is a 100% rumor. Even if it wasn't a rumor, it wouldn't come out this way. This was a rumor. 100. I mean, I think everybody caught. When the news came out, I looked at it. I laughed and I said, okay, I'm not gonna cover this because this is just ridiculous, right?
Hmm.
So my opinion, and again, this is an opinion because this is all a rumor mill. There's absolutely no way that Blizzard is going away. There is just okay. I understand that they're in crisis mode. There's a lot of stuff going on. There's management going away, all this other stuff. This happens to a lot of other companies. And if you take a look at the historical data, which is how I operate normally in life, I don't just make assumptions, right? I just look at how stuff happened. There are other companies that have dealt with this type of stuff. Normally, the high level management does not affect what happens down below because they aren't actually working on the stuff down below. They're making some decisions there and here, but when it comes to Immortal specifically in this situation, it is not affected. It is not going to be affected. Nobody on the Immortal team is affected. It's just going to continue doing what they're doing. I don't think that Immortal's delay of the Immortal had anything to do with this. I honestly really think the fact is we gave them a whole bunch of feedback and they need to change things. They were going to change them no matter what. I really felt like 'cause there was a deadline. Like there's project managers, there's a whole bunch of stuff that's involved. There's prediction, there's teams of people feeding this data information, and they know like a few months ahead of what's going to happen. They realized as soon as they got the feedback that they're not going to make it in time. So now they started calculating, seeing when the next date is. This has nothing to do with all of the drama that's going on in Blizzard. And on top of that, the drama that's going on in Blizzard is not going to make the company dissolve. I mean, that's just crazy. Like, I'll let you talk about it because I'm rambling. But how can it's just not true? It's not true. Blizzard is not going away.
No, I mean,
Echo go.
no, they're. I'm gonna go. No, I mean they're gonna make the changes. They're gonna do what's right. They're gonna fix things. They're gonna do everything that they can to make it better. This is a massive company with tons of money and with people in place that know how to do the right thing. I anticipate everything being just fine over time. Is it going to be remembered for a while? Are people going to hold a grudge on it? Sure. But they're going to still put out great games. They're still going to have amazing staff working for them that can assist and really create these great games. And it's going to move on past this pretty big stumble that they've been in right now. Plus, things are in the news. You know how that kind of thing goes, right? So,
Blizzard is not just one or two or three people. There's
no.
thousands of amazing people behind Blizzard. Wonderful people with visions and ideas, and they work really hard on these games. So just because one or two of those people are not acting appropriately does not mean that the whole company needs to go down. You know what I mean? That's just ridiculous. There's amazing people at Blizzard that all work very well, continue working very well, and this is going to get better. This needs to get fixed, obviously. It needs to get addressed. in legal ways as well, and then they need to move on. But this is not going to affect Diablo Immortal, the game. Blizzard's still sticking around. Don't go crazy. Trust me, Blizzard is not going away.
Yeah, I agree, man. And you mentioned the most important thing, the hundreds, thousands of people that are working at Blizzard that are great people. If the company went away, you would have amazing talent, amazing people just jobless. And that would be pretty awful as well, because it doesn't just hurt the people that were hurt in all everything that went down, but then hurts all the people that had
Yeah.
nothing to do with it. And then they are also without that stuff. The communities without the games they want to play, everything literally falls apart, and it would be bad news. And Brandon Gross says it's the cancel culture mindset people have these days. They think that one bad news happens and the entire company just disappears. True, and also people like to just start rumors and make big deals and try and make a splash in comment sections and on social media. Clearly not a thing. I mean, I've been accused of being like a Blizzard supporter and supporting all the negative stuff that they're doing or that was going on or that they were accused of just because I'm covering a game. And I see people tweeting out things that say if you're playing a Blizzard game, then you're in support of all the negativity. It's just nonsense. People get on their horse and they just start saying crazy things. When really, the way I look at it is I'm playing a game that I enjoy and I'm supporting the good people that are there creating those games, not the people that made mistakes and that caused this negativity to happen. So I went deeper into this than I ever intended to, Nemo. Get me out of this black hole. Pull in another question or something, please. I need to be saved.
Well, there, I have the ultimate question. Somebody asked when. Do you want to talk about that?
When
When
what?
Diablo Immortal is coming?
Oh gosh, no!
Guys, so we don't know.
Yeah.
We thought it was coming at the end of this year, but I mean, I actually made a video on the predictions. Right? Honestly, all joking aside, I think probably somewhere around May. In my opinion, it's gonna drop some. My new release date's gonna be somewhere in May.
May? You think it's gonna release in May?
Yeah.
See, I'm less optimistic, Nemo. They said the first half of 2022. I'm saying like the final day of July or something like that. Like I'm giving them every single day that they need. I don't anticipate. I mean, if it were coming out early, they would have said the first quarter. They didn't say the first quarter. They said the first half. So we know that we're somewhere, between 4 and 6 months. I guess we should say between 3 and 6 months in. I would say it's going to be more like 6. We could be surprised. Surprise me. Bring it in 8 months instead of the 10, and then everyone will be happy again. But really, I think the focus that we need to do right now is think about how many people got involved in the closed alpha that aren't content creators, that are members of the community. There were a lot of people that were able to get their hands in the game. Not everyone, though. Clearly, there were a lot of people saying still, oh, why are content creators getting this game and I can't get the game? I've been pre-registered for 3 years, all that stuff. We've gone over why that is. But with the beta, I believe it's going to be open to even more people. We're going to have thousands and thousands of people. Now, it's still going to be a sample size of the community, right? It's not going to be the full everyone that's pre-registered for it. But maybe it will work in some way like that. Maybe it's going to be something where they just start trickling it out, opening it more and more. Because that's what they did in the closed alpha, Nemo. They were able to, over time, get more and more people involved in it. And, well, it just kept expanding. So beta, it gives me the feel that it's going to be even more open than, even more people involved than we saw with any of the alphas. Make sense?
Yeah, there's two schools of thought on this one here. Our school of thought, like you said, and I love the whole idea of making this like a mobile rollout, where you have a beta, it's like maybe a closed beta, then an open beta, and then it's just that open beta keeps opening up to more and more regions, and then eventually goes live worldwide, like global release, like a lot of the other games. But some of the content creators and other folks in the Diablo community saying, no, that's not how it's going to work. This is Blizzard. They're going to roll it out like they roll out a bunch of their other games through a BattleNet rollout and regional stuff and etc. It's not going to be like it is in the mobile release. So I say I would like to see it the first way, the way that we're talking about, because it's going to allow maybe more people to play it. It would be cool if they just dropped the beta and just started opening it up to more and more people, and then that beta turned into a global release. I'm still not sure about that one though. What do you think? Is that how it's going to work? What's your prediction?
I don't know. It's basically asking the question: is Blizzard going to go their old rollout method that they've been doing forever? Or are they going to adapt to the mobile rollout method that we see so many mobile companies doing? Like how much are they adopting the whole philosophy of mobile gaming and what the mobile community is used to? Mobile gaming community is not used to the BattleNet drop, rollout, and that's just not what they're used to doing. Mobile gamers, myself included, go onto the App Store, find a game that looks cool, and download it, play it for a minute, and say, will I play this for longer? And you continuously go, and then you play for a day. It's kind of spammy, too many ads, it's pay to win, we're going to delete it. Then if you like it beyond that, you play, and then it could be one of those games that you play for a long time on your phone. To have people have to go sign up for BattleNet accounts and do all that before even playing the game, I think it will really cut down on the number of players that just jump in to give it a try. I mean, how many times have you gone to a website or for a game or for anything where you need to put in your information, register for something, and then do it? It's something that will push you away, and it's something that puts that question in your head: why do I need to give my information? Do I really want to try this game? Maybe I'm gonna put it off, because it slows the process down. It puts you in that uncomfortable, awkward position. Like, yeah, putting in BattleNet your information, there's no big deal. It's tons of security there, but everyone doesn't know that. The mobile community is not familiar with what goes on at BattleNet. The Diablo community does. The Blizzard community does. But not the mobile gamers that they're actually putting this game out for.
Yeah, I agree. The general public is very cautious. I can speak personally when I downloaded Genshin Impact, and it asked me for a whole bunch of stuff that create some weird my something account, and then all this. I was like, I'm not doing that. Sorry, I don't trust whoever is sitting on the other side of this. And I know how it works. I'm a security engineer. I don't trust anybody. You shouldn't either. So that is definitely going to shy away some people. It should be as easily accessible as possible, and I wonder how that's going to work. That's a really good point, Echo. I didn't think about that. Nice.
Yeah, I mean, again, you need to remember who the game is coming out for. Obviously, it's coming out for everyone, but the majority of people that are going to play, the large majority, are going to be people that play mobile games, right? And that's what's going to get them their numbers. That's what's going to make them their money. They're not going to make their money off of the veteran Diablo players that just need to get another Diablo game. Obviously, they will, but it's going to be a much smaller percentage than the 95% of players that are just going to be, or maybe not 95, 80% of players that have never played Diablo before that finally can, and they can do it on their phone, which is how they primarily game, right?
Yeah, that's a good point.
In my opinion. So Jolster says to me, let's lighten it up a little bit. After COVID, where am I taking my kids on vacation? Are we going to Hawaii? Now we're onto the COVID topic. Let's talk about every controversial thing under the sun here today, Nevo. I haven't planned any trips yet, because who knows what's going on with COVID. Once you have kids, and I know that a lot of people here are fathers, mothers, and you understand that it's no longer about yourself. You then start to worry about the safety and everything, whether you believe in COVID, whether you think it's a hoax, or whatever you are. I would never want to take that risk and put my children at risk by jumping on a plane in a time that's not safe. I'd rather just hold off on the vacation and wait until times are all good. Plenty of fun things I could plan with them around here, and yeah, that's how I'm answering that one. Again, I'm in a black hole.
That being said, with what Echo said, I'm doing the completely opposite. Getting on a plane and going on vacation next week. You're saying all that stuff, and I'm thinking to myself, am I being unreasonable? Huh.
Speaking of,
who's here?
Have you slept?
Have I slept?
Hey, buddy.
He's asking me if I slept. See, Nemo says hi. He's asking me if I slept because, here, slide on over.
Is that no?
Because last night I was doing a broadcast for Clash of Clans, an esports thing, and I was in here all night. But did you forget that I had breakfast with you this morning?
No.
Okay. And he's off. We want to keep him safe. I'm not putting him on a plane. But Nemo, he's got no kids. He's just got to worry about himself. And with luscious locks on his face like that, it's basically an all-the-time mask. He's nice and safe. I don't know.
Yeah, that's very true. I'm going to Myrtle Beach for Labor Day weekend, and then actually Charleston, and maybe even some Savannah as well. So having a good time. Answer that question.
Nice. Now I want to take one more question, and then Nemo, I would like to answer the Red October question as we typically do. He's able to make it to his stream. Let's do it. What's up, everyone in the chat? Hope everyone's doing well. Thanks for coming through, everybody that's come through. New people, old people, young people, old people. Nice to see all of you here. Nemo, what's one more question that we should touch on today? We touched on games that we've been playing, games that we should play, games that Diablo Immortal should be modeled after. We talked about beta. We talked about release date. We talked about disappointment. We talked about why it's okay to have the disappointment because it's best for Diablo Immortal. What do we miss?
I think we pretty much covered it all of the questions. We even talked about release dates, right? We talked about all of the crazy controversies. We touched on COVID. I mean, this has been a wholesome episode so far. So I think we covered it all.
But that's what I like about the show. You know why? Because what we talk about is driven by the chat. We come in with our 2 or 3 ideas to start things out, and the chat drives it all, which can make for a show that's kind of all over the place. And although all over the place sounds bad, it also sounds exciting to me. You never know where the show is going to go. You tune in the beginning, and you could be listening to something very different at the end, which is really nice. And that's why I love the format. So let's actually jump on over to Red October's question over here on Twitch. He says, Eric, he says, Scrappy Academy and Echo Through Me Gaming. Would you rather have 10 hobbies or 1 passion? Nemo.
I would rather have. It's a tough one. Red, man, you're coming in with hot ones. I would rather have 1 passion, and the reason is because a passion sort of like takes over your life. You know, like YouTube is my passion, right? And it takes so much work. I mean, literally, it takes my entire time. The rest of the time, I work full time. And then the rest of my time, I spend either making videos, recording videos, editing videos, doing thumbnails, like thinking of ideas. It's always in my head. It's like consumes a lot of my time. So some people go and hang out and chill by the pool. I'm thinking about YouTube videos. And sometimes I sit down and I think to myself, like, what am I doing? Like, is it really like consume me that much? It is. It consumed me so much, but I love every second of it. I work really hard to make the YouTube videos, but it's not work to me. It's not work to me because it's my passion. It's hard to explain that, but a hobby is fun, but a passion, just days can go by, months can go by, hours can go by. It's a place that I go to relax from work, from the rest of the world. So I would never give that up for anything. So to me, passion is, I love passion. It's like one of my favorite things. It drives people. It just makes for greatness. So I'll give up the 10 hobbies all day for 1 passion.
Yeah, you know, Nemo, I think you really nailed that well. I'm in the same boat. I think most people would choose 1 passion, and same thing for me. But with that being said, for you, for me, YouTube started as a hobby, right? We started as a hobby. We said, this is never going to go anywhere. I'm going to put out some fun videos. I'm going to get creative. And you know, I mean, you have a pretty substantial YouTube channel. I was able to quit my career for YouTube. It's pretty crazy stuff. But with that, 1 passion brings stress. It brings a lot of, 10 hobbies, no stress. I'm going to go play the guitar a little bit. I'm going to go play with some animals right now. I'm going to go play some video games. Those are hobbies, stressless. You just go and you're kind of out on a whim. But when you have the 1 passion, you put so much more into it. And with so much more, with that dedication comes a lot more stress. So there is some negativity that can come along with that 1 passion. But I still wouldn't give it up for the world. And, I am also working now on top of doing YouTube. And every once in a while I say, what if I just stopped YouTube? I just focused on the job. I work 9 to 5. I have weekends off. And I say, I would not be fulfilled. I'd want to do something more. I'd have to fill that time. I'm not a guy that could just work and then relax. I'm always on. So like Nemo said, when he's at the beach or when he's out laying by the pool, I'm sitting there at the beach, at the pool, but I'm thinking about YouTube 24/7. My wife hates it. Obviously she doesn't know what goes on in my head all the time, so I hide 90% of it. But that's always what I'm thinking about. What's next on YouTube? How can I make things better? When is Diablo Immortal going to come out? And all that kind of stuff. But good question. Let us know in the chat or at this point in time in the comments section if you're watching this video what you would choose, 1 passion or 10 hobbies. And this is going to be the end of today's episode. Remember that this Immortal podcast, we were doing it weekly when the game was here. We were doing it bi-weekly when it wasn't, but there's really not a ton to talk about now. So we're going to bring it when we feel it deserves to be brought. When a beta comes out, we'll come back more regularly with content, and that's going to be great. That's what we're looking forward to. Remember, Nemo can be found in many places on the web. It's a worldwide place. Nemo, let them know where they can find you.
You can find me in many places on the web. Scrappy Academy on YouTube is where I'll put out Diablo Immortal content. I even started a new channel. That's right. There's if you go to my Scrappy Academy channel, you'll see that I have a second channel that does a whole bunch of food reviews and things like that. In fact, that's where I'm going next week. Be covering that on that channel, having a good time. So I'm out there on the web somewhere. You can find me. Thanks, Echo.
Throw a link right now for your Tom Sunday channel. Put that in the chat right now before we get on out of here. If you are interested in having these people see what you do outside of your gaming stuff, come on in.
When are you gonna be done?
Right now, let's say bye to everybody.
You guys know that's like my real name too.
Yeah. So Brody's here. He's here to say goodbye because he wants to play. What do you want to play with me right now?
Space Invaders, box ball.
Oh, box ball, Space Invaders. He's my sports kid, but he does like some Space Invaders too. We're getting out of here for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the podcast. Nemo, it was a pleasure to be back here with you again. We'll be back soon. And definitely more Immortal videos coming on both of our channels, so keep it locked. Make sure you're there in the comment section when we do it. But we're out for today. Have a great day, guys. Say bye. And be good.